At the onset, while General VK Singh is not listening to the debate, I would like to thank him for his services to the country. It is because of people like him we are safe, despite my political opposition to him. And I'd like to ask some very, very specific questions of both Sushantji or Sanju Vermaji, who are present here today. There are three very specific questions and charges that I have. Number one, and this is the most important question, that why did we not have a pilot project for this? Today, the government is saying, look, they will be recruited in either the Uttar Pradesh police or the Haryana police or the central forces. You could have done a pilot project to see how this pans out, whether the recruitment process works out or it doesn't work out. So my first charge is that there is no job guarantee once this tenure ends of 4 years, or actually 3 years. The second part is this 100% recruitment, 75% people will be let off and 25% people will be retained. Now, how does the army guarantee, because they've not spoken about the transparency of this process, how do they guarantee that this 25% that is retained is not due to either corruption or due to political pressure that comes onto the people who are recruiting these people, and there is no unionization as a result of that? And the third and very important process that I want to ask is, once these people retire, okay, you'll give them 10, 11, 12 lakh rupees, but that is not sufficient to start a life by itself, because you've broken your education and you've not acquired new skills in the time while you were in the army to be recruited in a skilled job. Why doesn't the government in such a case then come out with a skill development program, an interest-free program, an interest-free loan, so at least these people who've left after 4 years can acquire some sort of skill? The onset is, this is a project that has been announced to manage headlines. There is absolutely no pilot project, and we are heading towards a disaster. We have 2 lakh vacancies in the army and the government has not filled even that in so far.
Would you want to respond to that, Sushant Sari?
Yeah, so on the 3 questions which Tehseen has asked, I think this one about the job guarantee and how people will be picked up out of that 70, the 25%. I think that's a bit of a red herring. Number one, there is no job guarantee anywhere. But in this particular case, there is a scheme where there will be some absorption, about 25%, and those people will be picked up on the basis of their performance. In the army, for example, there is a constant evaluation which happens of both the officers as well as the men. To say that it will be done on the whims and fancies of somebody, and there will be not some kind of a system on the basis of which you will pick up the the top 25% who will be given the option of staying on in the army, and you will let go of the rest. So I don't think that's a matter of great concern. What happens to the other 75%? I think some of them are likely to be absorbed in CAPFs and others. But I agree with Tehseen that there can be and there should be, and as General VK Singh himself indicated, you can probably tweak this thing and you can add something to this program going forward, which means that yes, if there is some kind of a system that after 4 years there's some kind of skill development scheme for the guys who are going to be demobilized, I think there is merit in that particular suggestion. The second thing Tehseen spoke about was on the 12 lakhs. Look, maybe 12 lakhs is not too much for somebody like Tehseen, or maybe for me or you, Navika, but for a vast majority of people who will join the army through this scheme, to get out of the army after 4 years with 12 lakhs of rupees helps them to start some kind of work. They can buy a tractor, they can buy, they can probably open a small shop, they can do many things if they want to do it. There is a corpus available to them which would not be there for them if they were not going to be part of this scheme. Number 2. And the third thing which Tehseen asked was on the pilot project. Well, that's an argument that can be made, that could there have been a pilot project? Again, for how long would that pilot project have gone on? Would it have gone on for 4 years, 8 years to see how the whole thing works? The government in its wisdom has decided that they will go forward with this particular scheme. Now, they will probably have to make some adjustments, some tweaking here and there to make the scheme more effective and more palatable. But for the people who are indulging in arson, rioting, I think they don't deserve to join the army in any case. I can understand
Well
some
said.
people feeling left out. I can understand some people feeling a little shortchanged. But for them to go and indulge in arson and indulge in a behavior following the Jinnah dictum that we will either rule India or destroy it, these are people who are saying we will either join the army or burn the country down. But how crazy is that? I can understand that, you know, people will want to protest, people will demand some changes be made in the scheme. They will try
Absolutely.
and see that if people who have been left out because of COVID and others get a chance. But whether that happens or not is anybody's case. And one final point, Narika, a lot of people have been raising this issue in general. VK Singh also mentioned, you know, the number of months of training. Look, the US Marine Corps trains, it's the basic training which is given before people are inducted in the Marine Corps is, I believe, 13 weeks, which is just over 3 months or just about 3 months, right? You are training somebody for 6 months. Once these people have finished 4 years, you have a trained manpower and training will continue. So, you know, people are just jumping the gun on this thing. Let us see how this scheme works out.
That's the
If
biggest
there are
point.
problems, I'm sure there will be fixes which will be brought in.